There's a passage in the Bible that forever changed humanity's understanding of true commitment. No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God. Luke 9:62. Jesus wasn't just talking about following God. He was revealing a universal law about how the human mind works when it comes to achieving any great goal. If you're between 35 and 60 and feel like you haven't reached the financial success you deserve, there's something that might sound brutal, but will free you from years of mediocrity. The reason you're still struggling isn't because you lack talent, opportunity, or even knowledge. It's because you've been secretly sabotaging yourself with something that sounds wise but is actually poison. Plan B. You've been keeping escape routes open, telling yourself it's being smart or being practical. But what you've really been doing is programming your subconscious mind for failure before you even begin. Today we're going to burn those bridges together, and you'll discover why having no way back is the only way forward to the wealth and life you truly want. The most dangerous lie ever told to ambitious people is that safety nets equal wisdom. Society teaches that having backup plans shows intelligence, that keeping options open demonstrates strategic thinking. But this conventional wisdom is exactly what keeps most people trapped in mediocrity for decades. The truth is that Plan B doesn't protect you. It paralyzes you. Every time you create an escape route, you're essentially telling your subconscious mind that failure is acceptable, that giving up is an option. Consider this. When Hernán Cortés landed in Mexico with just 600 men to conquer an entire empire, the first thing he did wasn't strategize or negotiate. He burned his ships. In that single act of destruction, he communicated something profound to his men. There was no going back, only forward or death. This wasn't recklessness, it was psychological mastery. By eliminating retreat, he forced his army to find solutions they never would have discovered if escape remained possible. The human brain is wired to conserve energy and avoid risk. When multiple paths exist, it naturally gravitates toward the easier one. This is why people with backup plans consistently underperform compared to those who commit fully to one direction. The mind that knows it can retreat will always hold something back, will always operate at partial capacity, will always find excuses when the primary path becomes challenging. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between just in case and when this fails. Both phrases program the same expectation: eventual retreat. This creates what psychologists call cognitive dissonance, a mental conflict between your stated goal and your hidden expectation of failure. This internal war drains the very energy you need to succeed, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of mediocrity. The wealthy understand something that the masses don't. Commitment isn't just about dedication to a goal, it's about the complete elimination of alternatives. When Andrew Carnegie decided to dominate the steel industry, he didn't diversify into multiple sectors just to be safe. He poured everything, time, money, focus, identity, into steel. This total commitment didn't just make him rich, it made him the architect of an entire industry. And this level of focus is about to become your new operating system. The moment you eliminate Plan B, something extraordinary happens in your neural pathways. Your brain, no longer able to default to easier alternatives, begins to generate solutions it previously ignored. This isn't motivation, it's neuroplasticity in action. When the escape hatch closes, creativity explodes. When retreat becomes impossible, innovation becomes inevitable. This is why breakthrough discoveries often come from people who had no choice but to succeed. Thomas Edison exemplified this principle perfectly. He didn't approach invention as a hobby or side project. He committed his entire identity to becoming the world's greatest inventor. When he failed thousands of times trying to create the light bulb, he didn't switch careers or pursue more realistic goals. He had burned that bridge long ago. Each failure became data. Each setback became refinement, because retreat was literally not in his vocabulary. The psychology of no way back triggers what researchers call necessity-driven performance. When survival depends on success, the human mind accesses reserves of creativity, persistence, and problem-solving that remain dormant when safety nets exist. This is why people often perform miracles during crises, but struggle with routine goals when life is comfortable. Crisis removes options. Removing options unleashes potential. Most people have spent decades building elaborate safety nets, savings accounts, backup careers, realistic expectations. While these seem responsible, they're actually sophisticated forms of self-sabotage. Every safety net whispers the same message. You don't really believe you can succeed at your primary goal. This whisper becomes a roar that drowns out the voice of ambition and possibility. But here's what changes everything. The moment you consciously choose to eliminate these escape routes, you're not just changing strategy, you're rewiring identity. You're transforming from someone who tries things to someone who completes things. This shift in self-concept is what separates the wealthy from the wishful, the successful from the struggling. And this transformation is about to accelerate beyond anything you've experienced before. Fear has a secret that most people never discover. It requires escape routes to survive. Fear feeds on the possibility of retreat, grows stronger with every backup plan, and multiplies in the presence of alternatives. But when you eliminate every exit, fear begins to starve. This isn't about becoming fearless. It's about making fear irrelevant. When there's nowhere to run, the only option is to run toward your goal. John D. Rockefeller understood this principle during the financial panics of his era. While other businessmen clutched their diversified investments and froze in terror, Rockefeller doubled down on oil. He didn't panic because he had already made peace with total commitment. He wasn't exploring other industries or hedging his bets. He had married his mission, and that marriage gave him clarity when others were consumed by confusion. The wealthy don't just think differently about money, they think differently about commitment itself. They understand that partial commitment produces partial results, that divided attention creates divided outcomes. When you keep one foot in your dream and one foot in your safety zone, you're not being cautious, you're guaranteeing mediocrity. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be can only be crossed with both feet. This is why lottery winners often end up broke while self-made millionaires stay wealthy. The lottery winner never eliminated their poverty mindset, never burned the bridge to their old identity. They kept their just-in-case thinking, their backup plans, their escape routes. The self-made millionaire, however, had to destroy their old self completely to build their new reality. They had no choice but to develop wealth consciousness because retreat to poverty was no longer an option. Your current financial situation isn't just about money, it's about the number of exits you've kept open. Every backup plan is a vote of no confidence in your primary goal. Every just-in-case scenario is programming for failure. Every safety net is actually a trap that keeps you from accessing the full power of human potential. And recognizing this is the first step toward the breakthrough that's been waiting for you. The transformation from hoping for success to demanding results happens the moment you remove the possibility of retreat. This isn't about positive thinking or visualization. It's about creating internal conditions where success becomes the only acceptable outcome. When failure is no longer an option, the mind stops entertaining it and starts engineering solutions with laser-like precision. Henry Ford revolutionized not just transportation, but the entire concept of manufacturing because he refused to entertain alternatives. He didn't ask customers what they wanted because he had already decided what they needed. He didn't study market research because he was creating the market. He didn't hedge his bets across multiple vehicle types because he had committed everything to making cars affordable for the working class. This wasn't arrogance. It was the power of absolute commitment. The difference between those who achieve wealth and those who merely desire it lies in their relationship with finality. Wealthy people make decisions and then make them work. Average people make decisions and then wait to see if they work. The wealthy understand that commitment isn't just about choosing a path, it's about destroying all other paths so completely that success becomes inevitable. Most people treat their goals like experiments. Let's see if this works. But experiments can be abandoned when they become difficult. Wealthy people treat their goals like laws of physics, non-negotiable, immutable, absolute. They don't wonder if their business will succeed. They engineer conditions where it must succeed. They don't hope for financial freedom. They systematically eliminate every obstacle to financial freedom. This shift from experimental thinking to engineering thinking is what separates the top 1% from everyone else. When you stop asking, "Will this work?" and start asking, "How will this work?" you've crossed the threshold from dreamer to builder. And builders don't need backup plans because they don't build structures designed to fail. This mindset shift is about to revolutionize not just your bank account, but your entire relationship with possibility. The moment you declare, "There is no plan B," something profound shifts in your energy field. People around you begin to sense a different level of seriousness, a different quality of presence. This isn't about appearing confident, it's about becoming someone who operates from certainty rather than hope. When you eliminate escape routes, you don't just change your strategy, you change your vibration, and the universe responds to that new frequency. Abraham Lincoln faced this exact moment when he accepted the presidency during the nation's greatest crisis. He could have declined, could have waited for better timing, could have suggested someone more experienced. Instead, he eliminated every escape route and committed to preserving the Union regardless of personal cost. This wasn't political calculation, it was spiritual law in action. When commitment becomes total, resources appear that were previously invisible. The wealthy understand that money flows toward certainty, not toward hope. Investors don't fund people who are trying something, they fund people who are building something inevitable. Customers don't buy from businesses that might succeed, they buy from businesses that will deliver. Partners don't align with people who have backup plans, they align with people whose success is guaranteed by the depth of their commitment. Here's what you need to understand. Every successful person you admire went through this exact moment of burning their bridges. They all faced the terror of eliminating safety nets, the fear of total commitment, the anxiety of making success their only option. But they also discovered that this terror is actually excitement in disguise, the excitement of finally accessing their full potential. Take a moment right now and write this phrase in the comments below. I am the architect of my inevitable success. Don't just type it, feel it as you write it. This simple act of declaration begins the process of rewiring your subconscious mind from someone who hopes for results to someone who engineers them. And this shift in identity is about to unlock doors you never knew existed. The power of absolute commitment is not just in the decision, but in the daily enforcement of that decision. It is in the small choices made when no one is watching, the moments of discipline that build character and fortify resolve. This is where the wealthy differ from the hopeful. They understand that success is a habit, not a one-time event. Each day is a brick laid in the foundation of their empire, and every action either strengthens or weakens that foundation. Consider Charles M. Schwab, a man who rose from humble beginnings to become a titan of the steel industry. Schwab wasn't born with privilege or formal education. He earned his place through relentless responsibility and unwavering commitment. He didn't wait for permission or perfect conditions. He took ownership and moved decisively. This kind of ownership is contagious. It inspires teams, attracts resources, and creates momentum that no backup plan can match. The spiritual dimension of commitment cannot be overstated. When a person fully commits, they align with a higher purpose that transcends fear and doubt. This alignment acts like a magnetic force, drawing opportunities and allies that were previously invisible. It is the divine law of cause and effect in action. What is sown in faith is reaped in abundance. This is why commitment is not just a strategy, but a sacred covenant with oneself and the universe. Every moment spent hedging bets or entertaining Plan B is a moment lost to indecision and dilution of power. The mind cannot serve two masters. Divided focus leads to divided results. To truly transform, one must become a person of finality, someone who acts with the certainty of a man who has already crossed the Rubicon. This transformation is not easy, but it is necessary. It is the crucible in which greatness is forged. As this journey continues, Remember that the path of no return is also the path of no regret. The man who burns his bridges does so not out of recklessness, but out of profound respect for his own potential. He understands that the only way to win is to commit fully, to move forward with fire in his chest and steel in his spine. This is the essence of true power, and it is within reach for anyone willing to take the leap. The journey of transformation is marked by moments of discomfort and challenge. These moments are not obstacles but invitations to deepen commitment and refine character. When the pressure mounts, the man who has no plan B does not falter, he rises. This resilience is born from a mindset that views setbacks not as failures, but as necessary steps toward mastery. Look to Napoleon Bonaparte, a man whose words commanded armies and whose decisions reshaped history. Bonaparte did not entertain doubt or hesitation. His speech was law, his will unbreakable. This kind of mental finality is contagious. It rallies followers, intimidates opponents, and creates a reality where success is inevitable. The language used daily shapes identity and destiny. To embody this mindset, one must cultivate a language of command. This means speaking with clarity, conviction, and authority. It means replacing phrases like, "I hope," or "maybe," with declarations of intent and action. This shift in language rewires the subconscious mind, aligning it with the reality of success rather than the possibility of failure. The habits formed through this language of command become the building blocks of a new identity. They transform the way a person thinks, acts, and responds to challenges. Over time, these habits harden into character traits that define the man who moves mountains. This is not about perfection, but about relentless progress and unwavering focus. As the transformation deepens, the man who has burned his bridges becomes a beacon of possibility. His presence commands respect, his actions inspire others, and his life becomes a testament to the power of commitment. This is the legacy of No Plan B, a life lived with purpose, passion, and unstoppable momentum. The final step in this journey is the full integration of identity and mission. This means living each day as a reflection of the commitment made at the start. It means enforcing standards that no longer tolerate excuses, distractions, or half measures. This level of enforcement is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. The man who lives without Plan B understands that time is the most precious resource. He schedules his hours with intention, assigning each moment to the pursuit of his aim. This disciplined approach creates a rhythm of productivity and progress that is unstoppable. It is the daily proof of a man who has decided to win. This transformation is not a destination but a continuous process. It requires daily vigilance, constant adjustment, and unwavering dedication. The man who embraces this path does not seek comfort but growth. He welcomes challenges as opportunities to reinforce his commitment and expand his capacity. The power of No Plan B is not just in achieving goals, but in becoming the man who can achieve anything. It is the foundation of a life built on purpose, resilience, and relentless pursuit of excellence. This is the ultimate expression of human potential, unlocked by the simple but profound act of burning the bridges behind. As this video comes to a close, remember that the journey is yours to command. The path forward is clear, the fire is lit, and the only way is forward. Embrace this truth, enforce your commitment, and watch as the universe aligns to your unwavering will. The decision to burn the bridges and eliminate Plan B is not just a strategy. It is a transformation of identity. It is the sacred covenant that turns dreams into reality and potential into power. This journey demands courage, discipline, and faith, but the rewards are beyond measure. When you remove every escape route, you don't just change your approach, you change your very essence. You become someone who operates from certainty rather than hope, from commitment rather than convenience. The universe recognizes this shift and begins to align resources, opportunities, and people with your unwavering direction. This is not about luck or chance. It is about the spiritual law that responds to absolute commitment with absolute support. The path you've chosen, the path of no retreat, will test every fiber of your being. There will be moments when the old voice whispers for you to return to safety, when fear suggests that perhaps you were too hasty in burning those bridges. But remember this: the discomfort you feel is not a sign that you've made a mistake. It's proof that you're finally accessing your true potential. Every successful person who has ever lived has walked this exact path of uncertainty transformed into certainty through action. Now is the time to step into this new identity with confidence and resolve. Subscribe to the channel and continue exploring the mysteries of the mind and spirit. The next video awaits, ready to guide you deeper into the path of transformation and success, where you'll discover even more profound truths about the power that lies dormant within you, waiting to be unleashed through total commitment.